for America and what it all stands for. Take a knee for America and what we all stand for.
As your witness, we have the Wizard of Social Justice. I'm back. Because of who? Annika. Annika wanted to see him. Because we said we was going to retire the Wizard of Justice, but Annika was on the last show, and Annika said, no, I want to see him. So I'm back. We're tonight. We're with Annika, we're with James, we're with Rocky, and William. Y'all know I get this, I forget names and all that stuff. All right, first thing we want to talk about my Take a Knee. My Take a Knee, I want this to go national. I want everyone to take a knee because I always thought that the ball players taking a knee was a real righteous project. But the idiots that be and the powers, no. The idiots that are and the powers that be, sometimes you can't tell the difference between them, have subverted it, messed it up, screwed it up, changed the tone of it. So now I want to bring it to the street. 11/23/18 at 12 noon, let's all take a knee. If you can't take a knee, just stand still. 10 minutes of your time, of your day. That's all I need. And we go from there. All right? Let's show them what real unity is about. Let's all of us do this. And I also want to tell you, in light of my taking a knee for America, Newsday AM New York has contacted me today, and they want to put together a media plan around my event. Oh man, it's exploding, people. It's exploding. I need you. I need you to help me out. I need you to assist me. I need all of you with me. And also Harlem Community Newspaper. They also want to do a little thing on this. This is exploding. This is going far beyond mortal men. Okay, I want to tell you about something else I ran into today, this week at the Harlem State Office Building about how to turn your business into a nonprofit. I was thinking a long time ago that that's what I need to be. That's the direction I need to take my show, to get funding and stuff like that, because this needs to be my hobby and job. I need to concentrate on this 100%. I don't need to be doing anything else but coming to you, giving you the news, telling you what needs to be told, giving you the information that's needed to be. If you can't go anywhere else, I want you coming here. This is where you need to be. And don't forget, most important of all, I need you to vote. November 6th, be there. We gotta vote. That's how that idiot got where he at. I'm going to repeal and replace all of them, personally. I'm going to start with Mr. 45's foundation. I'm going to start with the foundation. I'm going to wipe them out, repeal and replace every last one of them. Then I'm coming after number 45 personally, all right? And I need your help. I need you to assist me, and let's make this happen, all right? Now, that's enough about new news, what's going on in my life, my show life, and things like that. Now, for the guests. By the way, people, do you know the last time Annika and Rocky were on the show that they were fiancé, lovebirds, and things like that? I called them to set this show up, and Rocky said, well, she's not my fiancé anymore, she's my wife. I said, really? Really? I'm still wondering where my invitation went. It was lost in the mail, they told me.
Go on, Rocky.
We wanted to invite you, but the guest list, we wanted to keep it to 500, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the spirit of the Wizard of Social Justice must have been there because he has greater powers than me, so I know he wants to be there. All right. Now, my friend James, it's been a long time coming. Me and him were in a speaking program that was to teach us how to speak and everything like that. So now you know how I got to be the way I am today. Because of that program, I'm here with you. Isn't that funny? And James is too. James, tell the people about what you're doing, what you got on board.
All right, how you doing? My name is James William Young III. I'm the Director of Community Engagement for an organization called Neighborhood Benches. The reason why I'm here today is basically because we're doing a lot inside the Bronx concerning our youth. Our youth, since June 17th, we have lost about 63 and a half kids to violence. My partner and I, which is the founder of Neighborhood Benches, we started a program, a pilot, in the Bronx and Harlem, and he'll tell you more about it. And with that, I'm passing on to William.
You're real gracious.
Speak, William, speak.
So in 2015, we had this idea to locate neighborhood leaders from the Bronx, but along our journey, we realized that it was also needed in Manhattan. So we expanded into Manhattan and started working with individuals, which we call neighborhood leaders, from these different communities. These are individuals that a lot of organizations consider harder to reach individuals, and most of the time they're overlooked because their leadership skills are not the type of leadership skills that individuals want to call a leader. So what we started doing was started to prep them and then help them with the process of returning to school, engaging in different community activities, just so they can highlight some of their leadership skills. And a lot of them grew from those different experiences. In 2016, we launched an initiative for the NYCHA developments, where we found that it was more neighborhood leaders, and as many of you know, even though the crime rates was going down in New York City, it had a tendency to rise in the NYCHA developments. So what we did was we was able to contact these individuals that's known to the tenant associations, and show them that they was needed more and more every day. And from that point forward, we started working with NYCHA developments, and started to showcase their skills, their leadership abilities, and various other skills that they had that individuals that people had no idea that they even had. Mm-hmm. And with that being done, it encouraged a lot of them to step up. It encouraged a lot of males and females to step up in these developments, advocate for change, and that's why we're here today.
I have something I want to add, and I almost forgot, but you made me remember. I was also at the Vera Institute of Justice. Matter of fact, I went there today. I was there from, 12:30 to 1:30. They had this professor, I don't remember his name. I'm bad with names, but I'll tell you what the subject was. He did this thing called PAR, where you have people like us doing studies and stuff like that, taking surveys and stuff like that, getting grants and getting paid for it. You know what I'm saying? And also teaching them, like y'all do, teaching them was to become leaders and then help others. And I thought that was it, but he's in Delaware. But the thing is, he said he wants to come here to New York. He said he used to live here and stuff like that. What I told him, because you know me, I told him, I said, well, one, I need to work with you bringing this to New York, and we need to be in New York yesterday. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I had my wild outfit, my stuff on and everything like that, So he said, I like you, brother. He said, and plus I gave him one of these flyers too. And he said, okay. I'm gonna give you a call. I'm gonna check you out. So that's another thing. That's another, because the only thing, I go around networking. I go networking. When brothers come with something like that, I say, wow, I got to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll plug y'all in, you know, as soon as, you know, he gets in contact with me. You know, because that's what I do. Because when I used to go around to the different organizations and the different groups, I thought that we were all working in a bubble. We have to work together. In order to make this work, we got to all come together, or at least we should know what each other's doing, the steps each other's making, so we can all move together. When I move, you move. It's like that. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the way to make things happen. Because if we just do it in a bubble, your group over here, this group over here, this group over here, nothing. But if they come together and move as one, you know, so that's my mission. That's always been the way I thought about this show. That's always been the way I wanted for this show. And it's getting that way. I'm starting to get recognition with the things I'm doing and things I'm feeling. I got my team together now. And, you know, it's like there's no stopping me. There's no reason I can't win now, you know, because I have no excuses. I have no excuses. You know, by me failing is only because I didn't have a smart idea, a brilliant idea. It's on me. So everything is in place. Right, Anika?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, as you're saying that, what are some examples of how perhaps their organization and your initiatives moving forward, are there any specific avenues where you could collaborate and become a stronger force?
There's always, I don't like to be specific. I like to stay more general because there's a lot of things that I've called James about, you know, because, you know, I get dangerous when I start thinking, you know. There's a lot of times I've called James, you know, I got an idea, let's do this. What about this? What about that? Okay, I'll see, you know.
Or what's something you've done in the past where you
okay,
combined forces?
The last thing I thought about was
The Army.
yeah, the army uniforms, because I want to get an army fatigue uniform for the winter. I want to start wearing that. I want a brown one and I want a green one. But I saw a store, I'm not answering that. I saw a store that has it, but I thought if I can get together with James, because he has the numbers and the people, that we can get it on like half price or something like that, you know? Those are the kind of things, I think of things spur of the moment. They just come to me. They never leave me alone. I get no peace anymore. I always bother me.
On that tape, you know, the reason why James and I had met is because when I first met him, I was just coming back home from Maryland to a situation that I've been incarcerated for over 13 years. And when I came home, I didn't have my foot planted correctly until I met this brother right here. Okay, and I'm one of the ones that graduated out of his leadership program. So when they say restorative, they can look at me, right? Because what happened is when I came out of prison, I focused myself on change and leadership. Because I had a lot of kids back then when I was doing negative, they was focused on me, on what I was doing. But now that I'm doing it positive, they are really overwhelmed. It caught them off guard. So my community is better. The kids around me that I made negative is better. And the kids that I don't know just heard of me is better. And it's because of this program. Me and him took it together, a public speaking class. I met him. We both graduated from it. And it was very exciting. I mean, we had fun learning about different things. But the most thing that I found out of that program was that when you're focused on something, you have to be determined. And my determination to help youth, it was my backbone. That was my strength, right? I was 15 before when I first started doing time inside Rikers Island, which is this brother here was talking about earlier. And I commend you, you know, trying to go in there and help these kids out. I do, because I was one of the guys in there that got hurt real bad. So I commend you on that.
Thank you, and I have to commend you guys because it sounds like the program that you guys run is fantastic, and I know coming out of prison is difficult because, you know, you said, yeah, you're a great example of restorative justice. Well, the American prison system is not focused on rehabilitation at all. If you want to have any kind of rehabilitative justice, you need to sort of take it upon yourself. You need to better yourself because the system is not going to better you.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, for a lot of people, prison is just a master's degree in crime, and they come out, and you know, within 10 to 15 years, a large percentage are right back in, which is so sad. So I commend you guys for working to try and change that in your community.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
You know, I want to tell you all a story about my prison experience. I meet the people I meet, like James here. James, what was it, 13 years?
Yeah.
13 years, stuff like that. I had 18 of the longest months of my life because I wanted to be the next Tony Montana and I wanted to make $1 million. I got the 18 of the longest months of my life. I left the island on Halloween, right? I left the island on Halloween. By November, I was in the yard crying. Why was I crying? Because I had freedom of movement. I wasn't locked down or anything like that. I had freedom of movement. I could move around. But I was in there crying, I can't take this shit. I gotta get out of here. I can't take this. And it was snowing out. One of my friends saw me. He said, James, what's the matter? I said, I can't take this shit. I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm a dog here. He said, you gonna be all right. No, I'm not. I gotta be all right. I was in the yard crying. And that was it. That was one place I said, I'll never go there again. This will never happen to me again. And I decided anything I do was gonna be because of where I've been. And I don't hide it. I'm not ashamed of it, anything like that. I'm not proud of it either, but it's what made me who I am and where I am today. Everything I get is going to be because of that. I'm going to like take the bottom and turn it on the top, going from the top to bottom, bottom to top. You know, turn it all upside down. That's one of my missions I want to make happen. I just want to tell that story because these brothers that do 5 years, 10 years, stuff like that, oh man, I give y'all much credit. I think they gave me that kind of time, I'd have hung up or something. I wouldn't be able to do that.
No, it's true. You know, one problem with our incarceration system is that we give out sentences that are so much longer than any other country in the developed world.
Yeah.
And, you know, a judge can throw out 20 years, 30 years, 40 years without realizing, I mean, that's a lifetime. I mean, that'll take your life away.
But does he
5
really
years
care?
is a long time.
Does he really care? He doesn't care.
A lot of times, no. But a lot of times, they also just don't conceptualize how long that is.
Yeah.
Are they supposed to?
They're supposed to, but
They are?
They're a judge. That's
Right, yeah.
literally
They
their
should,
job.
yeah.
it's a
I
reasonable
don't know.
expectation. but
Look at
yeah.
Kavanaugh. Yeah, I know. That's going to be a judge, and he has the highest court in the land. I don't know. I think they need some
He's
work.
out getting drunk somewhere, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
That's
Unbelievable.
But you know, but like when you talk about the system itself, right? Here I am where I have not only family members that's incarcerated that been through the system, but myself been through the system, did 11 months, 4 days. And I also work on Rikers Island as a team leader for discharge planners, which are individuals that prepare detainees and inmates to return home. And after during the time I was in undergrad, I was arrested in Manhattan, and I was sent away to Rikers Island. And for that 11 months and 4 days, and I remember it like it was yesterday, is what I experienced in that time. You hear a lot of talk about now, when they talk about the discovery, when they talk about bail reform, when they talk about the extensive sentences. A lot of those things I experienced, but then at that time, I had no idea I was actually going through these things, right? So I went through the grand jury, I went through the trial, I was acquitted, and I was returned home. I started back in school, and then I wound up working as a counselor for 6 years for Alternative to Incarceration. And then from there, I transitioned to be the supervisor for an ICANN program in Rikers Island, where I was actually training a team of 18 people throughout nine facilities. And the funny thing to me was that even working there, it did not seem as though I was a civilian. It seemed as though I was still locked up. Here it is where I'm in GRVC, where one of my office space was actually a cell, and I remember the sound of the door slamming for when it's time to lock in. These are sounds and these are things that you never forget. When the bell, when the alarm go off, when there's a shakedown, when your food is thrown out from your bucket. These are the experiences that I still can't get past. Part of that experience made me resign and go full time with neighborhood benches. Right. So I can imagine the other individuals like James and yourself that went through longer period of times and been throughout various facilities. And we're just talking about just Rikers Island, and that alone have all these different issues compiled on top of one another. Like I said, part of the reason I was in there was because bail was heightened, and I couldn't afford it. The discovery that the district attorney hold, you can't see it until you're actually going through trial, and you see parts of it when you're going through hearings.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. And for most people, all those different things make them give up. That's
the thing, it's like it's a game to like defeat you, but you got to be stronger minded. And that's one thing I always say. We have to start looking at the skills we had when we were incarcerated, because we had some hellified skills, man. Look at the things we did to survive, and look how we survived. You know what I'm saying? You have to turn that around in this world and make it work for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got. We were so imaginative. Look at the things now that I watch. What's that show? The Prison Network or the Prison Show or something like that. It's on a cable thing, and he showed how he made, what was that? He made pizza in prison
You'd be surprised.
from like potato chips and stuff, and he took. Oh, it was like, I said, look at this. The imagination, you know what I'm saying, that we use. We have to bring that to the outside and still use it. Just find a positive way to use it. And another thing, when I first started this, I still don't even remember how I got this show, but now I got it. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to go back to prison to give lectures because I was a KSAC counselor and I noticed the power I had, and I didn't like working for the parole and stuff like that. So, and because I could talk to brothers in the language they understand, I could take clinical information and break it down for them so they could, because I talk basically street, you know? So I would talk to them like that and get them to understand. And I always wanted to go back to prison to do lectures. So I give your brothers props, you know, but that was too hard a road. But then I got this, so I'm happy now.
I'm proud of you.
Well, I'm actually interested. Did you do all 11 months at Rikers?
Yeah, I did all 11 months.
Because you said that you were acquitted, right?
Yeah. I was acquitted.
So that, it highlights such a huge issue because Rikers is really one of the most punitive incarceration institutions in the United States, jail or prison. And you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But they toss you in Rikers. They leave you there for 11 months. There's actually a sort of a trio of initiatives that are going on to try and solve for issues like that. It's ending cash bail. It's improving upon discovery. and allowing you to have those documents at an appropriate time,
Yeah.
and a speedy trial, you know, making sure that you're able to get in front of a judge in a reasonable amount of time. 11 months, and then to be acquitted is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And you know, like when, like for most individuals, like although we're at this table and we're talking about these things that's issue within our criminal justice system, you have brothers and sisters in there that can't even think that far.
Yeah.
Because they believe
AJ.
that these things is not going to happen, you know?
She's over there.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, you know, like, they feel as though these things are not going to happen. They feel as though these things are not going to take place. I remember when we first went out with some T-shirts from the Close Rikers campaign to the Andrew Jackson houses, and they respected us because they knew they know us personally, but at the same time they said, do you really think this is going to happen? Like, this is not going to happen. But they engaged in the discussion about their ongoing experiences with getting locked up on Rikers Island. Like, this was something done there week by week, you know. And you know, just for me, just for them engaging in that type of discussion was just powerful by itself, you know, because it allowed them to understand that there are people out here listening. There are people out here that want to hear the story, and for everything to like work out now to where they can see change. It's a lot of them are out there applauding, you know, happy just because these things are taking place, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I never thought it would succeed. You know, I'll happily say I was wrong. You know, obviously there's still some work to be done. You know, it could be done faster. There could be a better plan, but Rikers is going to close, and that's a really cool thing because closed Rikers really only took a couple of years to become effective. And that was a really, really massive campaign.
Look at young kids that was just moved off the island, the 16 and 17-year-olds. And split up between Brooklyn and Save Her Horizon, you know, that's huge. So for a lot of people, it made them into believers, you know, and it have this movement moving further than what it was a couple of years ago. You know?
Take a knee, take back the rights we've all been taught to honor. Take a knee. Sometimes in this crazy world, you have to stoop to conquer. Take a knee for the First Amendment. Take a knee as a proud descendant. Take a knee for America